right across the street from the University of Michigan. Been here since '74 and started in some different locations, but have been here since the '80s. So we're kind of a tradition. We get people coming in all the time, like 2-3 times a week, saying, "Oh, I went to school here 40 years ago. I can't believe you're still here." You know, so it's pretty fun in that regard. Just talking to people who are as passionate about music as I am, that's the exciting thing. I mean, the fact that we're up a long flight of stairs is kind of like a filter. You've got to really want to come up here. And the people that are still buying music at this stage of the game, I think, really want to be in a record store. I mean, the casual music fans, they get it on their phone, they download it, whatever. They can't imagine why anybody would ever want to go to a record store. But the people that do make it up here and make the effort, because it's also hard to park, you know, really appreciate what you're doing, and that feels good. What I've concluded is that when people buy vinyl, especially, given the fact that it's a pretty strong financial commitment, they want to buy something absolutely classic. You know, I sell much more sort of Led Zeppelin, Queen, etc. than I do, say, new indie bands on vinyl, although I carry it and I like to have it and I like to keep current. The truth is, I think that people just, when they're making that investment, $25, they want to get something they know they're going to want to have in their collection for a long time. It's proven, you know. It's about 50-50 vinyl and CDs, which I think is probably a higher proportion than many people have. But you know, we went through the 80s and 90s where we slowly reduced the amount of vinyl down to practically, you know, zero, and then we've ramped it back up. We've never wanted to give up on CDs because there's still a good clientele for it, and as they become almost difficult to find, especially in retail walk-in stores, you know, we're drawing a clientele that's still committed to CDs, that maybe older crowd that maybe made the transition from vinyl to CD and they just don't want to go back again. So just like we didn't abandon vinyl when it started to become less popular, we haven't completely abandoned CDs, but we've certainly ramped up vinyl. And finding vinyl used, good quality used vinyl, is very challenging. I'm sure anybody would tell you that, because the longer it gets from the heyday of vinyl, the older those records get, and the chances of finding them in good shape is challenging. And so I've supplemented that with a lot of new reissues. However, I get the feeling that there's a word is out, people aren't as interested in reissues as they are originals, which is sort of a newish phenomenon. I went in '73, and it was amazing. I mean, all the big names, you can't imagine, like Howlin' Wolf, Muddy Waters, you know, all these people, you know, there's not many blues guys still alive, but in jazz-wise, you know, you had Miles Davis, Sun Ra, Charles Mingus, you know, just all the big names came here for these. There's a poster over on the wall you can have a look at later, just to sort of show you how magnificent it was. It went on for a couple, 3 years, and then they ran into some financial difficulties, and it's kind of shut it down. But when it lasted, it was really something. You know, all sorts of lesser-known blues guys too. You know, they championed those people and gave them a chance to be in front of a huge crowd. There was a guy called One String Sam, and you know, just old Detroit guys they brought out, because the guy who sort of curated the festival, John Sinclair, you know, manager of the MC5 and famous for the rally here where John and Yoko came, and he was released from jail 2 days later. It was a big rally where Stevie Wonder was there and everything to get him out of jail. So, you know, there's just a long history in this town of music, of course, with Stooges, MC5, Bob Seger, all from here. You know, it's got a very cool music scene, and I think pretty good representation of record stores given the population. That's what I hear from people who travel around. And you'll get sometimes really interesting things. You talk about interesting stories. you know, people used to roll joints with their album covers, so sometimes you'll open up a gatefold cover and there'll be seeds or stems or something in there. That's kind of fun. So, you know, yeah. So we have, I mean, it's more of a hobby than a career at this stage. It's more for my own amusement than like I'm going to be a millionaire from doing this.